welcome to a week in my kitchen where I show you everything that I cook, bake, make and eat throughout the week. I'll start with breakfast. So today I woke up, well last night I put some bread in our little Lakeland bread maker. I used the soft loaf and it's nice and squidgy, and I did my daughter and I some toast with homemade jam. It was my jumbleberry jam, and I'll leave the recipe below if that's something you want to try and make. And in her lunchbox today, she was on rations because I get my food delivered every Monday, or actually I need to go collect that in a minute. She had a salami and cheese, mayonnaise wrap. I had to really think about what I put in there then. A little Jaffa cake bar, an orange and an Activia yogurt. So yeah, I'm just gonna go, oh I just touched something really hot then. Oh, I'm just gonna go grab my food shop now and I'll lay it all out and I'll show you everything I bought and how I plan to use it throughout the week. Oh, but first, gotta finish my cup of tea and I'll be back in just a sec. And here is everything that I got in this week's food shop. Now it was quite an expensive shop. I think it was £85. They were on offer for £10. The loo roll was actually not a bad price. It was £5 for all of those. And I know it looks really fancy, but it was still cheaper than my normal toilet roll. I think this is £12, but we do really like this olive oil. Not even that much meat. Because if you saw my video where I went shopping with my nan, they had loads like with a yellow sticker on. So I put loads in the freezer. Just lots of veg really. Tonight's dinner we are having leek and, oh my god, I just realised I might not have what I need. Bacon, macaroni, cheese. I'm really hoping I've got some macaroni pasta in my pantry. So I think I'm going to panic, put all this away, because I also don't have any salad for it because, let me just turn this camera around, hang on. I gave back the salad that Sainsbury's tried to give me because it looked grim. So when Sophia's at a cookery lesson tonight, I'm going to try and pick up some more salad then, and hopefully not some macaroni as well. I might just use some different pasta. But yeah, I'm going to put all this away and then get started on that macaroni cheese because her cooking lessons are a very awkward time. So yeah, I'm going to do that now. Bye! So I'm going to start off by frying some bacon and then popping some leeks in and sweating them down so they look a bit like this. And then I'm going to make my white sauce, which is melting some butter and adding some flour till it looks like this. And then going in with a whole load of milk until I start to make this beautiful white sauce. I'm going to flavour it with mustard, garlic and black peppercorn, and then adding loads of cheese. We had some Gruyere, cheddar and parmesan in the fridge, so I used all of that. I boiled up some macaroni and then I popped it all into one big dish and gave it a good mix together. And there we are. That is all ready to go in the fridge for this evening. So Sophia's got her cookery lesson, which finishes about 6:30, and we're usually starving by then, but my husband will be home. So I would text him and tell him to pop it in the oven for us, and hopefully I would have managed to pick up some nice crispy salad at the co-op to have with it. Sophia's cooking a rhubarb and custard cake tonight, and I've already got some cream, so that'll be a perfect dessert. So yeah, can go put that in the fridge and then make myself some lunch. Although today, well yesterday, oh that's my washing machine. Yesterday Raph was sick 5 or 6 times, and while making that he was sick a few times too. And now I just have no appetite, so I might just make myself like a smoothie or something and wait for my appetite to kick back in. I just went in the freezer to get out some frozen fruit for my smoothie, and I saw we had loads of breadcrumbs, so I think I'm going to put those on top of the mac and cheese to make it extra crispy. I had the perfect amount. Okay, so now that's going to go in the fridge and I'm going to make a smoothie. My smoothie is made. It is apple, mango and pineapple. And now I'm just going to update my weekly menu on my website. And if you've not seen these before, I list basically everything I'm cooking for my family for the week. Although the vigilant among you will notice that I didn't do last week. Sorry, but I'm going to do it now and drink my smoothie. And I had to wash the covers because a sad little boy was sick on them. Poor little thing, I don't know what's wrong with him.
playroom? Oh, is this what you made?
Oh, we're serving up dinner now, babe.
I ate some lettuce.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you are well. It is now Tuesday. I'm knackered today and I think it shows. I'm not sure if I even got any sleep last night, maybe like a solid hour, and that was about it. So that was fun. So for breakfast this morning, Sophia had her classic Weetabix with honey, which she has warmed and she absolutely loves, and I used up the rest of the bread and had jam on toast. In her lunchbox, she had the rest of the mac and cheese, which was so good last night. I'm so glad I put those breadcrumbs on top because they took away like the sort of the sickliness of mac and cheese. It was delish. So yeah, so she had the leftover mac and cheese, and then I thought to freshen it up, she can have some cucumber, tomatoes, and little cheese crackers as well. And I am now actually going to prep tonight's dinner because this is one of those lovely dishes where the longer you leave them to cook, the better they taste. So I'm going to do, from Gizzy Askin's book, Slow, braised lamb mince. Now I'm cutting it fine because I think my sister-in-law is coming over in about an hour. I want to get as much of this prepped as I can and tidy the house because guess who's still being sick? Yes, little boy Rafa is still being sick. So yeah, I'm so tired. So yeah, I'm gonna get this all prepped and starting to cook, and I'm gonna be a real lazy girl and I'm gonna chop most of it up in my food processor. I do love chopping, I find it therapeutic, but there's a lot of onions and leeks in this and I don't want to cry because, believe it or not, I do have some makeup on and time is of the essence, so I'm gonna stop yapping and I'm gonna get cooking. Yeah. So I've got all my veg here. The recipe does call for celery too, but my husband hates it, so we substitute in an extra carrot, and I'm just going to pop this all in the food processor. So they are nicely diced and sweating off in some olive oil in my big pan, although it doesn't look big because it's so full. I'm going to give that a little mix. Sorry about my shaky hand. I really need to invest in a tripod, don't I? And now in a separate pan, I'm going to brown off my lamb mince. I'm going to use quite a high percentage fat lamb mince because it'll add more flavour to the dish, and I've just popped a tiny bit of oil in the pan, although that does look like quite a lot there, doesn't it? This is sweated down quite nicely now, so I'm going to go in with my lamb mince, and then I'm going to add some flour and tomato puree into my pot and let them cook off a little bit. So I've just done the flour and tomato puree. Now I need to do the wine, stock, bay leaves, rosemary and thyme. Although I just went out in the garden to get some rosemary and it's looking vile, so I'm going to go in with an extra bay leaf. So this is now blipping away really nicely, and you probably can't tell, but it's torrential rain and wind outside, so this is like the perfect dinner. So I'm going to pop the lid on and then pop it in the oven on low for a few hours. And then my sister-in-law and I went to go get some lunch at Costa, and I got my favourite bacon brie and chilli panini, and I had a caramel latte with it and a packet of crisps, and oh my goodness, look at her hot chocolate, it's so good. And then we popped to M&S and we hit the jackpot. We found the Big Daddy chocolate bars. So we got home and decided they needed an immediate taste test, and I can confirm that they were absolutely delicious. And then just like that, it was time for dinner. The braised lamb was looking excellent, so it was just time to prepare the sides. And the first thing I did was diced up this red onion to make a little onion pickle to go on the side. I covered it with a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of sugar and some of this organic apple cider vinegar, and I just let it sit while I prepared my potatoes. So I just boiled up a ton of potatoes, and once they were soft, I added pepper mint sauce and a load of butter, and I just mashed them up to go on the side. And here's the final dish. Considering it was still torrential rain and wind outside, this was absolutely perfect, and we enjoyed it while watching the end of Pointless.
Look, here my mix.
You mixed yours, did this you? Is Sophia's favourite, and it's always nice to see her enjoying it. And then I decided to go to bed after that because it was so late, and I took my Big Daddy chocolate bar up with me and I ate it while watching The Office. Good morning, everybody. It is now Wednesday, and I feel like my body is getting too big now that my head looks like a little pea. How funny. I am getting, what is my top underneath? A little bit large, aren't I? Anyway, I hope you are all well, and today I'm going to be cooking a beef stew. Now, I've been waiting for, it feels like forever, for this beef to defrost because it's so cold now. Just everything's taking a lot longer, but I think it's finally defrosted enough for me to cook, and hopefully I've got enough time to make the meat tender before my family are hungry. So let me just start off with breakfast. Sophia and I had the same breakfast today. We had the Rachel's honey yogurt, which is so good, and we had it with, I think I've used them in previous videos, it's hard to describe, it's like nutritious dust basically. Chia seeds, banana, and we had a little chocolate brioche with it. And in Sophia's lunch today, she had some leftover of the braised lamb yesterday, the last bit of her rhubarb and custard cake, an Actimel yogurt, and some more of those cheese crackers because she loved those yesterday. So yes, I'm going to start to now cook my stew. But I've just noticed in the pantry I've got no pearl barley, which is like my favourite thing to put in a stew. And I think my pantry really needs a good, I need to clear it out again and do a big pantry shop because I'm running low on so many things, and I've run out of things that just have always been in there and now aren't. I know, hard life, isn't it? So yeah, let me just get started on this stew and drink my tea. So first things first, I've covered my beef with flour, salt and pepper, and I've put it in this, I've gone for a shallow casserole dish because I think that will give me more space for my dumplings. And I'm just going to fry it till it's browned on all sides. This is looking perfect, so I'm going to remove it from the pan into a bowl and then get started on my carrots and onions. And all that stuff on the bottom there, that will deglaze later and make your stew taste so good. So the meat is resting and I've gone in with my carrot and onions. I was going to follow the recipe on my website, but I'm sort of short on time, so I'm skipping a few steps to speed up the process. But I'll link the recipe below if anybody wants to try it. So everything's got a nice bit of colour and it's started to soften. So I'm going to go back in with my beef. Ooh. And any lovely resting juices. Give that a good mix around. Also, my dog's growling. I got distracted by a noise in the garden and I let it catch and burn. But it still tastes okay. So now I've covered it with water and I'm just going to let it come to the boil, where that will thicken really nicely because of all the flour. Oh, we're just starting to boil. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop on its lid and leave it in the oven on low for 2 to 3 hours. And now it's time for my lunch. I'm just going to have some braised lamb and the potatoes left over from yesterday with a nice hunk of butter on my potatoes. It's 2.5 hours later, and how good does this look? I've just checked the meat's nice and tender, so I'm just going to leave this now till I'm ready to make the dumplings. And you know I said don't worry about all the burnt stuff on the bottom? Well, not burnt, caramelised, but look, it all comes off. And that's how you get the lovely thick gravy. And don't forget, there's no stock in this, and look how amazing this has turned out. So now it's time to prepare my dumplings. I just whizzed up all my ingredients together in the food processor to make my life easier. So I just rolled those dumplings into balls, and now I'm grating some cheese and popping that on top. I'm going to add a bit of extra water to my stew because the dumplings really soak up a lot of water. And this is what they looked like cooked. They were absolutely delicious, but I did find that the shallow like bacon dish did dry out my stew a lot more than I would have normally liked. I don't know why I've zoomed in a bit here, but as I'm still talking, I'm going to leave the footage in. Anyway, yeah, that was good, and that stew was delicious. Good morning, everybody. It is now Thursday. Our original family plan today was to have cottage pie for tea, but last night we all vetoed it and said we didn't fancy it. So that means I've got no cooking to do this morning. I still defrosted the beef mince, and instead we're going to make smash burgers. So that means I don't have to cook this morning, which is kind of good because I'm actually off to my nan's house now anyway, because I'm going to go spend the day with her. So I would have been really rushed. Oh, catch my breath. And then I'm going to go get the ingredients after I picked up Sophia from school to make the burgers. And she wants to make some sort of lettuce tacos as an after school snack with like ham and stuff in them. She's obviously seen it somewhere. So we'll pick up those ingredients for her. And I'll just backtrack. So for breakfast, what do we have? Oh yeah, Sophia had her favourite warm Weetabix of honey, and I just had mine warm with sugar. And in her lunchbox today, she had a cheese and ham croissant, an Activia yoghurt. Oh, she had banana on her Weetabix as well, and the other half of the banana in her lunchbox, and some flour cucumber. So I am going to finish this cup of tea and this chunk here. I've got through half of that Big Daddy whale all by myself. Honestly, if you really like peanut butter and like salty foods, like Reese's Pieces, Snickers, but just really salty peanuts, this, I know it's £6.50, but I've been eating it constantly and I'm only halfway, is worth it. And I mean, I'm picking at it constantly, and I'm going to try, this is only so small, but it'd be really hard to eat. I'm going to try and finish this before I go. I actually need to go because I was meant to leave at 10 and now it is 10:05, so I need to quickly finish this. And this is also really sweet as well as salty, but it makes my tea not taste sweet. Anyway, I've got to stop yapping, it's been 2 minutes. Okay, I will come, you can come with me to my nan's because she usually cooks good food, but if I don't video, that means there was no good food. Okay, bye! So there was good food. This is a venison and pork burger, which my nan fried along with some waffles, onions, beans, and a tomato. And then we just had a little frothy chocolate coffee for dessert, along with this knockoff Tunnocks caramel wafer. And honestly, it tasted exactly the same. So I was really pleased with that. And we sat there listening to the rain and the thunder, which was quite nice. But not so nice was me sitting in the car waiting to pick Sophia up from school in it. And then we popped to Tesco's and Sophia picked up this adorable jumper and another pumpkin for herself. She was so pleased with this. And then this is the specific lettuce she wanted. Some burger buns, my favourite sourdough, 2 different types of sliced cheeses because I'm feeling lazy.
Yeah, we can cook in my kitchen.
And then yes, it was time to cook in Sophia's kitchen. She's got her own little kitchen in a playroom, and this was all the ingredients she wanted. And she very kindly made me a very nice, oh no, this one was for her daddy because it had salami in it, which I'm not allowed to eat. And as you can see, the dog was really interested in it, bless him. And then I got my own special one. I am allowed ham, but I just got cheese and tomato in mine, and actually it was kind of nice. And then it was time for tea, and my husband made these really nice burgers and a burger sauce. But I was still full from my nan's lunch. So I just made Sophia a quick burger, which doesn't look that appetizing there, but she devoured it. And I just had some scrambled egg on toast. My husband had his a lot later because he had football. So Sophia and I enjoyed ours while watching the sunset. Gone. It is now Friday, and oh, 3 reasons to be happy today. 1, it's Friday, and this week has felt long, and you know what, my weekend's busy, but at least I have 2 days where I don't have to get up at like 5:30, 6 in the morning. Secondly, there was a little frost outside this morning, and it was actually really cold, like see your breath, cold, but gloriously sunny out there. Perfect day. And the third reason is this time next week. What time is it? So this time next week, plus maybe an hour and a half. Oh no, what gender my baby is! And I'm so excited. I don't know if you can tell, I'm literally trying not to cry. I cry all the time at the moment. This baby, oh my gosh, it makes me cry over everything. And if I'm not crying, I'm asleep. So that's basically all you can get out of me right now, with an occasional bit of cooking. But anyway, today, I'm so glad I'm making this today. We've got soup on the menu, warming squash soup. So I'm gonna do that. The recipe's on my website. And to go with it, I'm gonna put some bread in the bread maker because I've been a bit lazy since getting that and I love it. I'm gonna do a cheese and jalapeno bread to sort of spice it up a little bit. I'm gonna make some crunchy seeds to go on top with the seeds inside the butternut squash. And then if I've got time and enough butter and oats, because we might want porridge at the weekend, I think I'm going to make some flapjacks too, because I think that'll be really nice. Maybe some like cinnamony, syrupy flapjacks. So yeah, that's my plan for today. So I think first things first, I'm going to put the bread in the bread maker, and what it does is after like maybe like an hour or so, it like screams at you, rather literally, to put the like added ingredients in. So as I'm going to be in the kitchen also making the soup, I'm going to be there to hear the beeps, and I might even catch it on camera. So now I'm hoping I've got enough bread flour too. So yes, let's get started with that. Hello everybody, just quickly popping in because all that yapping and I realised I never showed you what was in Sophia's lunchbox or for our breakfast. Breakfast wasn't that exciting, we just had jam on sourdough toast. And Sophia's lunch, she had my bread roll from last night that I didn't eat, and I filled it with like ham, salami, cheese, mayonnaise. She'd love that, but it'd be quite filling for her, so we went for the smaller lunchbox with some cucumber on the side. Also, there's my dresser that no one ever sees, and my microwave. Okay, bye. So the bread is in and rather noisily doing its thing. I hope you can hear me. And I've gone for the basic recipe, which I've actually never used before, but I realised it's the same as the, I'll show you, where are you? The sandwich loaf I love, but basically without the egg. And it even says that you can add an egg to make this softer. So yeah, it's gonna be the same recipe, just less soft. And I've got my cheese grated ready, and my jalapenos chopped and ready with no seeds because we don't really like spicy food, but my husband does. And that's ready to go in when it makes the ominous 10 beeps. So yeah, I'm gonna go prep all my soup ingredients now. And this has got 2 minutes, 51 left. So here on my website is my soup recipe. And this is everything that I'm gonna need. So I'm just gonna go grab all that now and then start cooking. Sorry about my dog in the background, he's barking away, but here's all my ingredients. And I don't use coconut milk anymore. I buy one of these blocks because coconut milk is full of like added nasty ingredients, whereas this is just, if it'll focus, probably not, oh there we go, made with 100% coconut. And instead of thyme, I'm going to use some herbs to Provence, because me and my family are obsessed with this. It's going to Provence. Oh, I won't focus again. Oh yeah, as you can see, the main ingredient in it is pretty much thyme. So I'm now going to get this all chopped up and ready to go. So that is all tossed and now ready to go in the oven, and I've just saved all the butternut squash seeds for roasting later on. Oh, I just missed the beeps, but it's telling me that I can go in with my additional ingredients. So, there goes my cheese. Oh, I'm gonna put the camera down. Cheese and jalapenos are in. Hopefully they all stick in. Okay, see you in 2 minutes 20. The veg is roasting away and the bread is, where is it? Doing its thing in the slow cooker. So I'm treating myself to a little ham and cheese croissant with some tomato ketchup on the side. And then probably by the time I've ate that and tidied up a bit, the soup will be ready for its next step. And then I think I've got time. I just checked the clock. I'm gonna make the flapjacks. If not, I will do those after the school run because Sophia might want to help. But yes, I'm just gonna quickly enjoy this because I'm so hungry. So I've melted my coconut milk. The veg is all roasted. And because I had to boil the kettle to make the coconut milk, I made myself a little miso soup. So now I'm gonna put the veg into the coconut milk, and then I think I'm going to leave it to cool a bit before I blitz it so I don't burn myself. So while that cools, I'm just going to move on to dessert, and I didn't have enough oats to make flapjacks, but I do have enough to make hobnob biscuits, although I don't think I've got enough to put any chocolate on top. I'll have to check, but they're nice about it, so I'm going to crack on and make those now. So I started off by creaming together the butter and the sugar, and you want to do it until it's all come together and it is light and fluffy, just like this. Then I went in with my oats, my flour, my baking powder, so that's just half a teaspoon of that, and then I also went in with some golden syrup, and honestly I just eyeball this, and then you want to bring that together till it looks like this. Make them into little balls. I managed to get 12, and then pop them in the oven and they'll come out looking like this. I had to do a bit of doctor work on these because they got stuck to each other, but they look great. So it's a bit later on now. My soup is blended. The bread has just come out of the bread maker and it looks so good. Look at that lovely like cheesy crust on the edge. Oh, it's bloody hot though. And these guys are just about, I think, let me just try. Yes, cool enough to eat. So I'm gonna enjoy one right now. Ooh. I mean, I'm biased, but they're perfect. Look at this, hang on. I can't eat any of them without you hanging about, can I? So it's a bit later on now, and isn't this the biggest compliment ever? I've only got 4 biscuits left. So now I need to get on with dinner and these seeds that I have saved. So I've just popped them in a bowl with some oil, cumin and salt, olive oil, and now they are ready to roast. Then I sliced up some bread to go with tonight's dinner, and I popped that on the table with some butter. Reheated the soup, which actually spat and burned me, and it really hurt. So I served that up with the pumpkin seeds, and voila, we were ready to go. And then I remembered everybody needed side plates, and that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe.